Okay, this method is my I don't know if I invented it. I'm sure someone else has probably done it before me, but I've sort of discovered it. Very quick way to get your charcoal going. I've tried those chimney things. You're still looking at 20 or 30 minutes. This method here, using lumpwood charcoal and a few twigs, you can be, well, I'm going to do a time check now. We're now 16:48 near enough, 47 and a bit. So I'm going to, little corner of a fire cube. I'm so tight. I mean, that's what happens when you live in Yorkshire. You end up becoming like a Yorkshireman, really tight. So I don't even take a whole fire cube. I cut a fire cube up into about 8 pieces. And then I'm just going to stick a few twigs on here. Just get that lot going. And I'll stick a few more on because you need a few. Tend to go for the smaller sticks. So I've just grabbed a handful of sticks here, nice and dry. These particular sticks are ash. That was beech off the hedge trimmings. This is nice dry ash. And you go for the smaller diameter, as I say. You don't want the fat stuff, so that's probably about as fat as you would go, as far as the sticks. And I'm just going to stick on a reasonable amount here, get that lot going. And the clock's ticking, I'm aware of that, so that's obviously about time to gather this thing. So that's taken me a minute so far. So, okay, we're now minute 50 and a half, so that's a couple of minutes in. The twigs have got a good hold now burning. What I've done is I've pre-stuck my lumpwood charcoal here onto that rack there. Okay, and then just put it in. The reason I'm wearing gloves is because I'm now about to put the greasy rack on. So that would be normally what I want to cook my steak on, but we're doing a chicken, and this is just a couple of bits that I've sort of made up to do something. So I've got it a bit higher. It's a raised thing. I mean, obviously this is just because I'm doing a chicken, otherwise a whole chicken, otherwise I would just have it directly down onto the thing. Okay, so that's gone on. We're now just over minute 51, and the next time we come back will be in a few more minutes, and I'll put the chicken on once the charcoal's going. So that's going to take a few minutes just to burn through the sticks and get the charcoal ignited, which, with it being lumpwood, you've got to look at it logically. Flames are underneath the charcoal, and because they're underneath the charcoal has absolutely no choice but to ignite, and to ignite quite quickly as well. Okay, we are now minute 56, so let's say it's nearly 9 minutes since What? We've got classical music going on.
Okay.
Is that your device? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give this a quick wire brush off, get rid of some of the old fat, which is good there, and I will just, you have a close-up on the fire there, Pete, just to show there's still a few little flames left, which are still just on that one corner. There's still a few flames going, and I will now stick that chicken on there. We've spatchcocked that. I've just got a dry rub on there. There's a few ground up spices and things like that, and I will stick the lid on there, and we're now cooking just under 10 minutes. That's taken to get that going. Charcoal's just going nicely underneath. It's not fully burnt through and glowing all over. It's just glowing underneath, and that because I want this to be going for at least an hour. So that's exactly what I'm wanting. We'll check on this later on, just to give us sort of a yes, it does actually cook properly, rather than it won't cook because the charcoal's not all burning all the way through. So we'll have a look at this chook later on. It's 17:37, so we're just over half an hour after putting the chicken on. And if you want to come in and have a look at the temperature here, Pete, that's 150 degrees C or 300 Fahrenheit, whichever currency you like to work in. I'll just take that off. It's already had one turn, and what I'm doing now is, so I put like a dry rub on. You saw that it was like salt and peppery stuff, so it's had a little bit of a do on that. I'm going to go light on this stuff here on the, I'll just do one breast because Jill doesn't like that. So this is my glaze, which is a sort of a sticky barbecue sauce with a little bit of hot spicy Caribbean sauce added into it, just to give it a little bit of zing. And we'll waz that on there now. But as you can see, we'd like to come and have a close-up look at the what's going on with the embers and things like that. You still see there's a decent pile of embers underneath there and a little bit of a glow. Try not to leave the lid off too much, because otherwise it tends to fan the heat up a bit. And we don't want a lot of heat. 150 is a good temperature. So lid back on, and we shall be back for the final removal in about 20 or 30 minutes, I'm going to guess. Okay, back here in the North Yorkshire countryside, people come out to the countryside to get away from the noise and the racket. At the moment we've got Sandy bloody Kitson trimming hedges over the road. Got M spreading muck over there, and that bloke combine harvesting. Come and have a look at this, Pete. So we're now, an hour and 10 or something like that down the road, and we've got 100 degrees on the 100 degrees C, or 210 or something like that Fahrenheit. And we'll have a look at the chicken. It's caramelised. You can see that's had the glaze on it. It's gone a little bit black because it's caramelised. That's the bit that hasn't had the glaze on it. So the chicken nicely cooked. This is a 2 kilo chicken, or 2.1 kilos, or 4.5 pounds, I'd say that would be. So it's all cooked, ready to go, and still got a bit of charcoal left underneath if you want to come and have a little zoom in on that. Look at that. But basically, we're now about to eat. Beautiful. What do we think of that? Let's bring it in the sunlight.
If you turn around, you might find.
Oh yeah,
there
sorry.
We go.
There we go. Why is it in darkness? Oh, that's right. There's got an idiot standing in the light.
Like it.
Okay.
Good day.
Shall we go and eat it?
I think we shall. Ah.